But I think when you think about the software supply chain, it's important to understand how code flows from an upstream repository where a developer is writing software, and in many cases collectively, either with an internal team inside of an organization or across organizations in an open source project. And today it's across countries, across companies, from individuals to everything in between. That code then is packaged up. And today there is an important part of the software distribution mechanism, which are package management systems that essentially distribute this software in a secondary layer. These are dependencies that people pull in as they're building modern applications, whether it's in the cloud and so forth. And then there's the end of that supply chain, which are organizations like Google that offer software as a service through their cloud product, or through an embedded device, maybe an Android phone or an iPhone, where that software then eventually comes in contact with the user. That software supply chain is incredibly complex and has become more complex as the amount of software required to solve big problems has grown. Just to give you a flavor of what the supply chain looks like, just in Linux Foundation projects, these are only the 450 odd projects that we host of the millions that are on GitHub. 31 million lines of code were added last week. 20 million lines of code were removed. There are 236,000 developers in our development community from 19,000 different organizations. This represents 1 million pull requests, 12,000 repos, 4 billion container downloads, 200 million builds. It is an incredibly fast-moving, complicated supply chain. I think the important thing for people to understand is at each point in the software distribution supply chain, do you, either as a distributor of software or a consumer of software, have a good handle on what code am I depending upon, who is writing that code, and is that code written in a secure manner that I can rely upon? And I think those are really tough questions due to the great complexity of the global software supply chain.